Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss a topic, the Old Man River, part 2, the second scene. This is written by Dorothy Deming. At the previous class, we have discussed about how the land got flooded and what are the things they did as a rescue. For rescue themselves, what are the things they got arranged and how the parents they got under the flood. That all the things we had discussed and what are the characters are there at the play. And now we are going to discuss about the scene 2. The timing is an hour later. After that incident happened, then after 1 hour, what's the setting is same setting. Okay, let us see. When the curtain rises, some group of people is in the living room with the exception of Jim. The same peoples are there, only Jim is not there. Sarah is asleep covered with a blanket in a big chair. Amy, Rose, Betty have 3 candles on the table. Betty is trying to read. So at the same group of people are sitting there. Jim is not there. Then what Sarah is doing? Sarah is asleep. She is sleeping. She was covered with a blanket in the big chair, and Rose, Amy and Betty, they are having the 3 candles, and Betty is trying to read the book. Betty putting down the book with the thud. It means she is putting the book down with a sound. Tup. She is putting the book down with a sound. I can't read by this light. How do you suppose your grandmothers ever did? She is wondering how the grandmother they had read in the dim light. She is wondering about that. Because she can't able to read in the dim light, in the candle light. Rose, I don't believe they tried to read. I guess they went to bed when it's dark, grew dark. So she is telling, she is thinking that they at the night the people those who are living in the olden days without the electricity facilities, they won't read. When there is a dark, they go for the sleep. Amy, maybe you ought to go to the bed. It's nearly 11, but I can't sleep a wine. It means she can't able to sleep for at least a second. Kanna moodave mudiyala apdi solra. But now Amy is asking everyone to go for the sleep because the time is 11 o'clock. Betty, Norai. Betty is telling she also not able to sleep. Rose, she also telling Norai. It means she also not able to sleep. Listen, what's the sound? Listen. Rose running to the window and peering out. So what happened? Rose is telling there is a sound that is coming from the outside. So what happened? All the 3 are listen. She is asking them to listen and then running towards the window and peering out. They are peeping out what is happening to see that. I can't see a thing. It's a pitch dark. It means nothing is visible. It's a very dark. That is pitch dark. It sounded like something bumping against the house. There is a sound. Sound bumping against the house. Betty nervously, oh, come back, let us sit here together. So they are calling each other and they are started to sticking each other. Hug. Jim entering left in the raincoat, carrying the flashlight, battery dead. It waved it almost 100 times, though maybe somebody saw it. So he is at the time what happened? Jim is entering the room with his raincoat and he is telling that battery was died. There is no battery. There is no charge in the battery, and he is telling that he had weighed. It means he is shaking his hand for more than 100 times. So someone might had see it. So he is telling, and Betty maybe with the irritation sound, scornfully it means with the irritation she is telling, maybe paathukalam paakama poikalam it means. Jim, it has stopped raining anyway and let us start moving everything to the attic. Bring the food, water first, then the blanket. I will do the carrying up the lantern to the roof. So now what they are telling, now it has stopped rain anyway. So rain was stopped and they have started moving everything to the attic. What are the things? They are bringing food and the water. First they are taking food and the water, then the blankets, and they are carrying the lantern to the roof. Lantern. My spring coat, I am going to save that. Betty is telling that she is going to safeguard the spring coat along with the things. She rushed out left and taking the candle with her. So she is rushing out from the stage and she is taking the candle with her. Going over her sister, shaking her gently. Sarah, wake up dear. We are going to sleep in the attic. So Rose is going and wake upping her sister Sarah, and she is telling that they are going to sleep in the attic. Attic means madam. I told you already, it is the upper part of the bungalow house. That is a attic, not the first floor, second floor. It is not a apartment model. It is a bungalow house. Oh, where I am? Sarah is telling. Oh, where I am? Rose, come on. She helped Sarah to her feet and quickly wrapped the blanket around her to the attic. Exits left, leading Sarah and taking one of the candle with her. So what happened now? She is wrapping her. She is holding her with a blanket and taking Sarah to the upstairs along with the candle. Ought to get father most valuable books and mother jewel case. Amy is telling she want to take the father's valuable books as well as the mother jewel. Jim, Amy, we will need water and food more than the books and the jewel. So now he is telling the importance, that is book and jewel is not that much important when comparing to food and water. You don't seems to realize, you have he is asking, this is not a time, so you have to realize what at which work we have to give priority. He is interpreted by the cry from the outside and right, so he is shouting to Amy. Mr. Peter, hello here, hello in the house. Miss Marshall, Mr. Marshall. So the Peter is coming and he is asking, hello, who is there in the house? He is asking he is calling the name Mr. Marshall, Mr. Marshall. Amy, they have come for us. Here we are. She is replying that they are inside. Jim, picking up the third candle from the table, running to the window and waving it back and forth. So he is waving that candle by hearing the noise. Here we are in here. Jim is telling that we are inside. Now Betty, entering on the run from the left, carrying her dress box. Are we secured? Who is there? So she is telling, who is here? Who came there? She is asking. Secure means who came us to safeguard. Mr. Peter, still outside. Mr. Marshall, are you all right? This is a Tom Peter, Miss Marsh, Red Cross nurse. We are here in the boat. So still outside. From the outside, Mr. Peter is telling, Mr. Marshall, are you all right? She is asking. They are inquiring about the safeguard of the people. This is a Tom Peter. He is introducing himself that he is a Tom Peter, and along with him there is one lady. She is called Miss Marshall. Miss Marsh. She is from the Red Cross. She is a nurse there. So they are in the boat to rescue the people. Jim, roar around the back porch. You can get in there. So he is telling, ask them to come from the back side of the house because they can easily get inside. There is a pumping of the boat. Again the wood voice, steady, not now. We have got hold of all the rail. Tie here. So he is telling there is a rail is there. Rail na the kambi madri step or kambi madri that is rail. So he is asking them to there is a rail and ask him to tie the boat there. More voice greeting means more of them are sitting inside the house. They are calling him welcomely. And then Mr. Peter entered the living room with a lighted lantern, followed by Miss Marsh, Amy and Jim. So now Mr. Peter is getting inside the house by following Miss Marsh, Amy and Jim. Betty, you are secured. We are secured. Come, Sarah. Betty is telling that they are secured. They are rescued. They are rescued. They are rescued. They are safeguarded. So, Mr. Peter, why are your children all alone? He is asking the reason why the children are all alone at the house. Because all the those who are there, Jim, Betty, Rose, Sarah, all are the 17 years, 9 years, 7 years children. So, he is asking why the children are all there. Yes, we are. Amy is telling, yes, we are. She is agreeing, yes. There is an terrified crash followed by the wail of pain and the scream. There is a cry. This is made by Sarah because of the wail of pain and scream. With the pain she is shouting. Rose, off stage left. Oh Sarah, she had fallen off from the step ladder. Come quickly. Somebody, I have dropped my candle. It's gone out. Mr. Peter, Miss Marshall, who is carrying the small black bag, and Amy rush off to the stage left. What happened now? So this is a Sarah. Sarah had fallen from the lantern. So they are calling, come back, we will go. They are moving towards her and say they are going to see what's happened to her. Mr. Peter and Miss Marshall, they are carrying a small black color bag with them. Amy rush off to the stage left. She is going out from the stage left. Betty, oh, I hope she hadn't broken her neck. She is asking whether she had not broken her neck. Jim, get the first aid box. It's that the pile of coat. It's fixed a place to her to lie down. So they are Jim is asking them to take a first aid kit, and they are making the pile. They are making the coat to be to sit her and it is fixed place to her for to lie down. So, they are making the court as a place where she has to lie down, sleep. He arranges his chair so Sarah can lie down. So, he is arranging the chair and making Sarah to sleep there. Lie down means sitting or sleeping. Mr. Peter, enter left carrying Sarah. Oh, he is carrying the Sarah and entering into the stage. Steady now, you are all right. More frightened than the hurt, I think. So, he is telling Sarah not to afraid. So, because of the frighten, you are feeling the pain more than the thing which she had wounded. So, he places Sarah on the chair. Now, he is placing the Sarah on the chair. Placing the lantern near Sarah. Emmy is keeping the lantern, the light near the Sarah. I am glad Miss Marsh is here. Miss Marsh is examining Sarah. Sarah is sobbing softly, saying everything so often. I heard Rose knees beside Sarah's chair holding her hand. Jim stands in the background with Betty. So, what happened? Now, Emmy is telling that she is very happy to have a Miss Marsh here, because Miss Marsh is a nurse. She is examining Sarah because Sarah had wounded. She had fallen down from the ladder. So, now Sarah is sobbing. Sobbing means she is crying with a soft voice. She is telling it is hurting, it is paining for her. So, Rose kneels beside Sarah's chair. So, Rose is kneel downing beside Sarah's chair, holding her hands. She is holding her hands of the Sarah. Jim standing backward with Betty. Betty and Jim are standing backward of the Sarah. Sarah, it's my leg that hurts. She is telling Kayalla adipattum. Miss Marsh, yes, you have hurt it badly, Sarah, but we can fix it up and we will all get into the boat and take you home. You are going to be all right. Motion to Mr. Peter, Jim and Amy to move to the one side of the stage. Rose stay with Sarah. So, what happened? Miss Marsh is telling that really you had explaining Sarah about her wound because she had hurted badly. Even she will get all right because they will treat her. So, now what happened? Peter, Jim, Amy, all they move out of the stage. Only Rose were staying with Sarah. Miss Marsh is telling she has broken her right leg just below the knee. So, the leg was broken just below the knee. Which side? Right side. She had flinged it up with the pillow and umbrella and lift her safely into the boat. I think we ought to take her to the emergency Red Cross hospital in the Ormotry. Ormotry is a place where there is a Red Cross hospital, emergency Red Cross hospital is there. So, she is telling that we have to make her spin it up. It means we have fixed the leg for making it all right. They are keeping the pillow, umbrella and everything to make her leg to be straight. Okay. Next, Mr. Peter, we can take Rose and Betty along too, but the Jim and you and Amy will have to stay until we can come back for you and send some other boat. So, Mr. Peter is giving the instruction. They are carrying Sarah along with Rose and Betty to the hospital, and Jim, Amy and everybody has to stay there. They will go back and they will send a boat, otherwise they have to wait till the boat come back. Miss Marsh returned to the surround Sarah's right leg with a pillow using umbrella, cane and along with the outside to keep her leg stiff. So, making her leg to be straight, they are keeping the pillows, umbrella, cane and on the right leg of the Sarah. Jim, that's all right, we will be perfect safe up on the roof. So, Jim is telling they will be perfect at the rooftop. Mr. Peter, we can leave you an extra lantern and a jar of coffee. Need anything else? He is asking whether they need anything except this lantern, coffee. They are keeping coffee, and whether they need anything else. He is inquiring. Amy, only some of your calmness. We will be all right. Thank you. Thanks. Amy is thanking him. She said she need only the calmness, because this Mr. Peter and the Marsh they are very calm and they are quiet, they are not hesitate and they were not hasty. So, he is telling, she is asking them to give some calmness. This it means not calmness, the courage, the boldness. Okay. Mr. Peter, don't thank me, thank the Red Cross. He goes over to Sarah and help lift her in the blanket, rolled her to the stretchers. Miss Marsh pick up her bag. Jim and Mr. Peter left and carry Sarah towards the right. So, now what happened? They are taking Sarah to the boat with a blanket rolled. They are rolling the blanket and taking them to the stretcher. Now, what happened? Mrs. Marshall, she is picking the bag, and Jim and Peter, they lift the Sarah towards the right. we can swing her down into the boat very easily, because they had taken her in the blanket. It is easy for them to hold her because they can swing it, she can keep it her in the boat safely. I don't hurt a mit, mit means very less. I won't hurt a mit, Sarah, get your things, Rose and Betty, you are going with us. So what they are telling, the Rose and Sarah is going to go with Sarah, Rose and Betty. So the hurt is very less, it's not that much heavy. Betty and Rose grab their coat, Betty takes her dress box. So Betty and Sarah, they had grabbed their coat, they had taken the coat and Betty had taken her dress box. Sarah, drowsily, Miss Mass gave me something to stop the hurt, it is almost gone. So she is telling Sarah, drowsily means with the sleepy, off sleep and awaken, she is telling Miss Marsh had given something to stop the hurt, the wound pain, she had given some painkiller to her. So now the pain had almost gone, Sarah is replying. Amy, at the door, dropping a kiss on the Sarah's forehead as she is carrying her out. That's fine, dear, have a nice boat ride. So now Amy is kissing on the forehead of the Sarah and she is telling goodbye to Sarah and also wish her to have a nice boat ride. She waved her stretcher, goes out followed by the Rose and the Betty. Try to get words to mom, then we are all right. Betty and to the Jim family too. So now Amy is telling them to convey the matter that they are safe in the house to their mother. And even Jim family also. Betty, I will try, I hope you will be rescued soon, bye. So now Betty is telling that she will try to inform the information to their mother, and she is telling definitely you will also be rescued soon, you will also be safeguarded very soon, and they are bidding bye to each other. Rosie, goodbye Amy, good luck. Rose is telling goodbye and good luck, because the Betty and Rose is going along with the Sarah in the boat. Amy and Jim is staying there. Amy, goodbye. Amy is telling goodbye. There is no more thumping, only less loud than before. The noise giving direction. Amy fuses with the lantern and trying to get it lightened. So now what happened? She is making the light to be brightened by saying the goodbye, and they are increasing the light of the lantern. Mr. Peter, off stage, be all right, Jim. Off the stage, not in the stage, just we can hear the voice of the Mr. Peter. He is telling Jim, you will be all right, you will get all right. He is telling Jim, yes, doesn't worry about us, goodbye. In distance, the voice is coming from the distance. The sound of the Jim entered the right, wiping his forehead. The Amy gets the lantern lighted and blow out the candle. So he is telling the lantern to lighten, it means lid on the lantern, make the flame to high in the lantern, and you have to stop the candle, blow out the candle. Water dropping. He poured 2 cups of coffee from the Peter's jar, hands one to Amy, raise his cups to as thought in the toast. He is giving one cup of coffee to Amy, and another one he is taking and raising his hand to cheers to convey the cheers. This already Mr. Peter had said that he had given the lantern as well as he had left a jar of coffee to them. So they are drinking each other. Here to the coffee, lantern and the rescue. I am very glad to have a wide awakened, well equipped disaster committee in this town. So Jim is very happy and he is very glad, and he had informed that they had a wide awakened, well equipped disaster committee in this town. So in this town, the disaster committee means பேரழிவு ஏற்படும் போது அதை காப்பாற்றுறதுக்கான ஒரு group of people, the helper, the volunteers are there. So he was glad because of them, Peter and Miss Marsh, they are rescuing the children, those who are suffered in the house due to the flood. Amy, and a Red Cross nurse for emergency, thank God for the rescue. Both lift the coffee cup and drink still standing. So they are, by standing, they are drinking the coffee and they are thanking for the nurse, those who are appointed, those who was appointed by the Red Cross. So they are thankful to the person, those who are helped them. So when the flood occur, we also have to know what are the things we have to supposed to keep it ready. If any disaster had occurred, we also know to safeguard us. So go through the lesson and read one or twice, then you can understand what is for your better understanding. You can go through the prose. Thank you, my dear, and learn the glossaries from the book exercise. Thank you.